Hi. We're going to talk about releasing the tension in our neck today. Yeah, this space of the neck can get so tight. And right now, mine especially is, I've noticed, is getting tighter and tighter. And it doesn't feel good to have a tight neck. Hey, Jennifer. Aloha. So, what is this space in our body? The neck, the throat. Well, it is the space of our true voice. And there's a little known energy center called the thymic chakra that is right at your sternum. And so, if you're watching, you can find your sternum. It's that bony piece that kind of sticks out. And that is right at this energy center called the thymic chakra. And this is actually where we hold our truth. And our neck and our throat are built to vibrate from that space, to vibrate out our truth into the world. And so hey Maria, hey Karen, hola from Spain. Oh, I hope you're safe, Karen. And hey friends, so glad I could meet up with you here today. Me too, that is my truth. So this thymic chakra, if you notice, is right in our heart space. And our throat was built to vibrate from this space. And if you put your hand on there, so if you're joining me, just put your hand right there and just say, ha, and notice if this vibrates. If it does, you're in your truth. So anytime you're speaking out there or you're working with your breath, if you just check in with this space, just place your hand there and do a ha, or say I love you, or I'm so glad to be with you, or hola from Spain, or aloha. You can check in to see if this space is vibrating. And if it is, you're in your truth. But if it's not, you're not. So if you notice, for me to take my vibration out of this thymic chakra, I had to make my voice very high. So our truth lies not necessarily in our neck. It's just the space that vibrates it out. It lies here in our heart space. So to speak our truth, we typically have to make our voice a little bit lower. So that's what this space is about in one way. The other piece is that we also have our ears right here. And this is where we listen. Also, we bring in what is true for us or not. So we could say that this whole space of the neck and throat is all about speaking our truth and listening to our truth. Awesome, right? Now, sort of the light side of this space is truth. We are here to vibrate out our truth. The shadow side of the neck and the throat is that sometimes we vibrate out stuff that's not true. We could call that lies. So we can vibrate out things that are not true for us. And when we do that, this space gets tight, stuck, painful, because our body knows what is true for us and what is not. Beautiful system, right? You can just check on to see if you're speaking your truth. And if your neck is in pain, it's your warning that you aren't speaking your truth, or you're listening to something that is not true for you and taking it in. I love the body so much and how it really speaks to us and requires that we stay in our truth. So let's just check. Hey, Karen Anderson. I'm so glad you're here. Amanda, Lindsay joined in. Awesome. So let's talk about keeping this space clear, right? That's our work, is to clear out taking anything in that is not true, any of the lies, and to make sure that we are speaking our truth, and then our neck will be free. Now, I'm going to talk just a little bit more about this. So my left side of my neck has been giving me a lot of trouble. Left side of your neck, my neck, is speaking to myself. So if I'm telling myself something that is not true, I'm going to have a pain in the left side of my neck. And I've been having some, so I'm vibrating in. I have a habit of kind of putting myself down. I worked on it for years and years, and thinking that I'm not good enough, that I shouldn't have done that, I should have done it differently. Like even this morning, the new practice went up, but I had hit PM instead of AM, and it's so hard because in all this technical stuff, it's so small and it's so easy to get that mixed up, but I rarely do it, but I did it. And immediately I was like putting myself down. You should have, you shouldn't have, all that, right? Does anybody recognize that? Well, I had to then go work on the left side of my neck because my neck just went and grabbed on because I'm, basically I was talking shit to myself. So I chronically have left neck pain. Right side of the neck is what we speak out there. And everybody's different. You may have more right neck tension than left, but that's what it's about. And our bodies tell us the truth. They talk to us all the time. That's why I'm so happy to have all this information that I was, gifted through all my teachers so that I know and I can work on it. So how do we clear this stuff? Well, I have a whole practice on agelessmovemore.com. This week's practice is all about freeing the neck, but let's just talk about a few things that you can do if you find yourself out there with a stiff, tight neck. So I really like things that I can just do wherever I am, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. So I find that when my neck grabs on, it's usually in my scalenes, which are right along the side of the neck, so kind of up to my ear and then along the side of the neck, and also through my SEM right in the front of my neck. So I'm going to give you a couple of things to do to clear the scalenes and the SEM, those muscles that grab on when you're believing something that's not true for you, or you're speaking something that's not true for you, to yourself on the left side. So let's start on our left side, since that's where I've been having issues today. You can help me out. So what I do is I'm going to take my left arm out and around and back behind me, so my palm is facing away from my body, and I walk it up just as high as I can get it. I can use my right hand to kind of push that elbow in if I can reach it. Some of you will be able to, some of you won't. It doesn't matter. And then I'm going to drop that shoulder down and back. Then I take my right hand onto my left ear and drop my right ear to my right shoulder. And I breathe, and I like to move my head in that side to side, like I'm saying no. No to listening to the lies. No to speaking to myself anything that is not true. And anything that is other than I am just amazing and fabulous and doing the very best that I can is not true. That's true for all of us. We are pure essence of love. And any message that is not matching that is going to cause you left neck pain. So you can just rock your head side to side and breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, saying ha, and let go of anything that you've said to yourself that is not true, or listened to from out there and took in that is not true. And I'm placing my hand toward the back of my head now and really pushing it down to look into my right armpit, and I'm moving my head side to side, and I'm breathing in and breathing out, saying ha, and letting that vibration clear away all the pain from everything that I said to myself that wasn't true, or I took in from the outer world that was not true. Ha. 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 And now, after you've had a bit of time here, and I could stay here for a long time doing this, you just release your head, your hand from your head, and let your head float back to center, Then you release the arm. And then I like just to make circles just to kind of get that arm back to feeling like it's my own again, right? And then just pause there for a moment and feel and notice. Like, I feel like the left side of my neck is so much longer now than my right. So let's do the right? Join me. So take your right arm out and around and back behind you. Walk that hand up as far as it'll go. Hand between your scapula, palm facing out. And then once you have it out there, then come around and draw that shoulder joint down and back. Take your left hand onto your right ear and draw left ear to left shoulder. And just start to shake your head no. No to the lies that are coming in. No to any vibration that you're putting out there. That is not true. And there are a lot of vibrational misinformation, mistruths floating around there right now because we're all scared, right? And so we want to believe that there's a cure for COVID, right? We want to believe that it's not true. We want to believe that it's going to be over really, really fast. And so just shuffle through all that and believe what's true for you. Let go of anything out there, right sides others, outside of you. Anything anybody else is speaking, let it go, that it does not vibrate truth for you. And if it's coming out of a place of fear, it's probably not true. Sorry about that. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, saying ha, just clearing those right scalenes. And then I'm going to walk my hand to the back of my head and look down into my right armpit and just keep moving my head and neck like I'm saying no. No to anything that is not true for me. So I get to ruffle through everything and listen and decide too what matches my energy vibration of truth. Because, you know, somebody may say something out there and I have a lot of respect for them, but it doesn't resonate with me. I get to say, that doesn't work. And then they might say something else and I'll be like, bingo, that works. And so it's not like we get to throw everything away either. Nice. A couple more breaths here. And then release. Let that head float back to center. Release that arm and just move it around. Wow. And just notice your neck. First of all, it may feel a lot longer. And clearer and cleaner. Now, before we do the next one I'm going to share with you, I just want you to sit here for a moment and breathe into your heart space. Take as much breath as you can in. And out from your heart space. Release as much breath as you can. Now, with a little bit of opening in your neck and throat, what you might be able to feel is that the neck and the throat are open to receive the breath. And as you exhale and release the breath, that channel stays open. So the neck and the throat, our body teaches us this, are the clear and open channel to our heart, to where we hold our heart's truth, which is the seat of wisdom in our body. Isn't that awesome? I just love, I geek out on this stuff. So I'm just so happy to be able to share it with you all. Now, another one that I do all the time to release, mainly my left side, the truths that I'm speaking to myself that are not true, the lies that I'm speaking to myself that are not true, is I find my SCM. And the SCM is this big muscle that runs, you can see it, right from my ear down and attaches to my clavicle. And I just start up by my ear. You can start anywhere, and I just start to grab it and pull it. I grab it and pull it. And sometimes when I'm really tight, grabbing it is hard to do. Like I can barely get a hold of it. Yeah. But when I do, oh yeah, it's painful, right? So go back to where you found pain if you're doing this with me. So mine's kind of right in the center. And when I grab those painful places and I breathe in and out, and I kind of move my head and neck, opening the jaw, by the way, helps this area too. It can really let some yucky junk, lies go. Like, so what if I make some technical errors sometimes on my website? I'm just so proud of myself that I'm doing it. Like, I'm a one-man band, and it's amazing to me that I can do it. That feels so much better to me than telling myself I'm, stupid, or what's wrong with me, all that kind of stuff. That I can do so easily. So just grab it, pinch it, and pull it. Move your head and neck and say And you can do this anywhere, like even, like we're barely going anywhere now, but if you're out in your car going to the grocery store or something, pinch and grab and pull it at every stoplight. I mean, I've done that before. And then by the time I get anywhere and I release, I mean, my gosh, if you did this with me, aren't you feeling better? Can you feel this? Hey, Sandy. I'm so happy you're here. Love Lola just snoozing in the background. She is. She's always somewhere. Hugs, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. So need this, right? We all do. We all need to really be staying in our truth right now. Okay, other side. So, and Amanda, remind me to answer your question. Sorry. So now we're going to go to the right side. And remember, this muscle goes right up by our ear. It's this big muscle and attaches down at our clavicle. And you just grab it, pinch it, pull it. Yeah, grab it, pinch it, pull it. What I do is I kind of take one journey down through it just to feel where it's tight. And mine on this side just a little bit lower down. And then I'm going to grab and pinch and pull that tight spot and open my mouth and say and just really let go of. This is probably where I've been taking something in from the outer world, because there's so much information swirling around there. I may have grabbed onto something that wasn't true because I want to believe, right? I want to believe that everything's just going to be okay. But the truth is that, you know what? We're going through this tough time, and we're going through it together. And there's a lot of loss, and there's a lot of grief. And I need to stay out of fantasy. I have a lot of hope. That is true for me, for when we get through this, that we're going to be changed and we're going to care more about one another. All of that is true for me. But I've got to stay away from believing, okay, it's going to be over next week, whatever. And just let it go for its ride and allow me to take the ride with it. Yeah. All right. So one more big pinch and a couple of breaths there. And release. Oh my gosh, so much better, right? Everybody feeling that? All right. Amanda said better. Okay. So in this week's practice, it's all about the neck. Please join in and do it and speak your truth. We need that truth put out into the world. Your unique version of the truth. Now, Amanda asked me a question earlier, so I want to answer this. So in the practice that I give you, there's a part in there. Well, a lot of it's kind of hard, sorry, but oh my gosh, if you practice it a lot this week, your arms are going to get so much tighter. In fact, this like chicken wing thing that happens when you get older is going to get tighter and tighter, and you won't have so much blab there. It's what I do every day to help me not have my chicken wing. And at the same time, it opens up my neck and my throat. So good. But there's a part of going upside down. It's an elbow balance. I won't flip myself upside down here because I don't have a wall to flip into. But I'm going to talk about that piece right now. Let me bring this a little bit further down so you can see. So, when you go into any kind of elbow dog or elbow balance, your hands are inner hip width apart. I'm rolling my inner arms out. I'm bringing up my ribs, dropping my head and neck, which is all the standard
posturing stuff I talk about over and over and over again ad nauseum. I know you're getting it, right? And then I'm going to take my elbows in and down to the floor. I bring them close together. I don't know if you can see that. And then I push my elbows into the floor, my forearms, my wrists, my hands, and let my head and neck hang. And that's the way it's supposed to be, and it's the way it's supposed to stay as I go into my down dog. And when I flip up. But in any of these, and so in part of going upside down, I hope you can hear me, if I walk my toes toward my nose and my head goes down toward the floor, then I have to back up. Or if I'm kicking up and my head goes down, then I have to back up and come out, or just go to where I can keep my head off the floor. And for some of you, it's going to be just on all fours in a cat.
Because what's required for our heads not to go to the floor with these this elbow work is these muscles alongside the neck and down into our upper back. They have to go in opposite direction than they normally do. So when I'm listening to something that's not true for me, or I'm speaking something that's not true for me, and I'm shouldering you with my left shoulder because I do this a lot, the shoulder comes up and forward. And that's why my neck hurts, because it's being pushed on. My cervical vertebrae are being pushed on, and then my neck's being pushed out of alignment by my shoulder coming up and forward. Because when I'm speaking something that's not true, left side usually for me, to myself, then I'm closing in on the space, the vibratory space of the truth, which is here in my heart. Yeah. And look at that posture. Look what happens to my neck. Pushed forward. So when I roll my shoulders down and back, and let go of that, my neck falls into alignment. But so many of us are tight like this. So this practice this week is going to work on getting your shoulders down and back so your neck can release up and out of your body. And it's not an easy practice, but when you do it, and I recommend that you do it a lot this week so that you can really get the essence of it, because it's such important work. Freeing our neck is so important. It gives us everything we need to be who we are, really are, and put it out there in the world. Let me see if anybody has any questions. Oh, Amy, hey, Michelle. My muscle is barely grabbable, so I know that is just what I needed. Thank you. Looking forward to Sunday. Me too. Yeah, this muscle that she's talking about, the SCM, when we were grabbing and pulling it, when it's tight, like really tight, it adheses to the fascia. So there's fascia on the muscle, and then there's fascia behind the muscle, because everything in our body is encased in fascia. And when this gets really tight, the fascia of my SCM gets attached to the fascia that's right behind it and gets stuck. It's true for us everywhere in our body. And you have to kind of pull the two apart. And I've had to do a lot of work on my SCM because of that. Because when I first started working on it, I couldn't grab and pull hardly at all. But I do it a lot now. But it's interesting, Amy. I'm so glad you brought this up. Like on my left side that I constantly have to work on, it starts adhesing pretty fast because it's used to me hanging on, grabbing on, not being into my truth, speaking to myself. Something that's not truth is typically what I do. So I have to work on it a lot. Let's see. Amanda. Hi, Amy. Hi, Amanda. Can't wait for the practice. The wings practice was so hard for me. Oh, I know. Me too, but so rewarding, right? Karen Hill, thank you. I really needed this today. Oh, you are so welcome. So good to be with all of you. Go out there and listen to your truth. Don't take anything that is not true for you. And then speak your truth out there to the world. I want to hear it. In fact, share it with us. Share your truth with us in the Ageless Movement Practices Facebook page. I love reading your truth. Love you all. That is my truth. Have a great weekend. Bye.